All right, continuing on with a look at some Reddit rumors about the upcoming films and TV series from the MCU. And, well, the most part sounds pretty credible. So there's probably some amount of truth to this.
And some amount of absolute crap. So, take it for what it is.
Well, that's the thing about rumors is, again, they can be true. They can be false. More times than not, they're somewhere in between. So, well, last time we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy. The next is this D+ series that, if done right, could be really good. It was based on a comic book series in Marvel back when it was still good.
And now it's even better.
Yeah. The series was called Secret Invasion, about the Skrulls, who are shapeshifters, infiltrating the Earth and the superheroes and whatnot, in an attempt to take over the world, and they damn near do it.
That superhero espionage is just something spectacular from the MCU, which could do no wrong, and so, especially with Nick Fury involved. Oh, man, this is going to be great. It's about time he got his own series. I mean, a movie would have been cool, but a series, probably even better, because they can expand on the narrative.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to make it a Nick Fury vehicle, and they've been teasing little things here and there in some of the other scenes he's had throughout the movies, and apparently it leads up to this. Not quite how the original series went, but that's true for all of these. They have to kind of maneuver them around to make them fit within their cinematic universe version, and as to be expected. But for the most part, the main elements should still be there. I don't know if they'll utilize this in a means by which they reveal that some of the characters you think have died aren't dead. They were actually Skrulls at the time.
Well, that wouldn't make sense. I mean, you couldn't do that with Iron Man.
No, I wouldn't think they would. They could, but then that takes away from his death scene because it wasn't really him,
Yeah, and especially if he was an imposter, why would he go that far?
I suppose this is a little different, and they haven't established the Skrulls well.
Well, they did it great in Captain Marvel, where they utilized them to speak on refugees and immigration and stuff, and that you shouldn't be so rejecting of people just because they're different.
Yeah, that's not really the Skrulls story.
Well, it is now.
Oh, yeah. Well, even in the original story, there was this faction of Skrulls who believed they had some religious connection to Earth, and so they decided that was theirs.
There you go. You see, stupid fundamentalists, idiots, just ruin everything for everybody. So I'm okay with that. So that means there's good and bad Skrulls.
Well, in this version, yeah, there'll be good and bad Skrulls, I'm sure.
There you go. See, they fixed it. Better than ever.
Yeah. But the thing of it is they came up. See, the Skrulls can shapeshift, but that's about it. That's their main ability.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but they couldn't copy the superpowers of the superheroes. They might take their places without some sort of trickery or what have you. There was some Skrulls. There was the Super Skrull.
The Super Skrull.
Yeah, he had all the different powers of the Fantastic Four. But I think that was it. But these guys, they figured out a way to not only copy the appearance of the superheroes, but to also adapt their superpowers as well. And I think as a result of this process, some of the attributes of the characters of these people were grafted onto them as well.
That makes them pretty undetectable, man. Like someone like Professor X, who hasn't shown up yet, but if he did, or other mind readers, they wouldn't be able to detect it.
Yeah, there would be a way to get around it. But the other side of it is some of them might get lost into the personality of the people that they copied. So I suppose that could be the explanation for why, some of these characters didn't really die. They were simply replaced and imprisoned by these Skrulls while they went about their mission to take over the world.
Oh, wow. That means like Black Widow could be.
Yeah, but still, it takes away from the death of them.
But you just explained it.
I know, but it's still, it's kind of like you suckered the audience,
Well, they do it in the comics.
Yeah, I know. They do. And there's always that complaint. Because you had this big story about the death of a main character or whatever. And and then they come back. Used to, they wouldn't come back for years, in some cases decades.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so had a lot of time to kind of get over that. Nowadays, they just come back in 5 seconds. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that does kind of spoil it a bit, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way. Besides, it's been a while since Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus they're kind of desperate now, so I'm sure they're probably, if they can resist the temptation to not do that.
Just shut up with the desperation. That's ridiculous. That's just hits bits of Marvel. It's just not the Marvel that you grew up with, and you just want to wah about it now.
Yeah, well, anyway, the rumors are as follows. Nick Fury and Telos, the good Skrull.
Right. Forget the Marvel.
Yeah, okay. Joined forces to prevent a rogue faction of Skrulls from infiltrating Earth's governments in order to take over the world. James Rhodes is now Secretary of State, replacing Thaddeus Ross.
Oh, yeah, Warbison. Yeah, I guess he should have been Secretary of Defense, though, huh? But Secretary of State is so much better, bringing the world together. Yeah, woo.
Yeah. Kingsley Ben Adir. I thought he was Ben Kingsley. Did he change his name?
Probably, I don't know.
Or is this someone else?
Probably, I don't know.
Plays Gravik, the leader of the Rogue Skrulls, and Telos' former protege.
Oh, boy, it's like his old student turns against him. Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, it wasn't really the story, as I recall it. And
no one cares about the comic book version.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, Emilia Clarke plays Gia, Telos' daughter, who masquerades as Sword Agent Nail.
Oh, well, that's kind of giving away who Nail is.
Yeah, well, she's going to look like Emilia Clarke until they put the green makeup on her.
Oh, yeah. It's yeah, so much for her being mayor over at DC.
Yeah, well, that's all a mess right now anyway.
It always was.
Yeah, well, anyway, Nail is initially loyal to Gravik, but begins to question her allegiance.
Ooh, yeah, she's probably going to become quite the hero here.
Yeah. Charlene Woodward plays Priscilla Fury, Nick Fury's ex-wife and a secret agent.
Oh, wow, that's something. Oh, boy, a little romantic tension for Nick Fury.
Yeah. Olivia Colman,
Love her.
Plays Sonya Falsworth, Nick Fury's old friend and the director of the MI6.
Old friend, huh? Looks like we got a little triangle going.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Dermot Mulroney plays President Ritson, who is replaced by a Skrull.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy, that's kind of like, well, never mind.
Yeah. Allowing Thaddeus Ross to assume the presidency.
Wait a minute. How could Thaddeus Ross be there? I mean, sadly, John Hurt passed away.
Well, the rumor is that Harrison Ford has been hired by Marvel. I don't know if they've actually officially stated it, but apparently he's taking the role of Thaddeus Ross and probably will become the Red Hulk. That's the deal.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. But, he's kind of up there.
Yeah, well, the Hulk's all CGI, so it's all right.
Oh, so mostly he'll just do scenes where he's in a suit sitting in the White House.
Right.
Okay, that'll work.
So Carmen Ejogo, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
You probably are. That's very offensive.
So how's it pronounced?
I don't know.
Is rumored to play Abigail Brand.
Who?
I forget. The main thing is that the leader of the Skrulls in the comic book was a woman.
Oh. So is that who Gravik is?
Well, I got to admit the gender isn't specified here, but I don't recall the name, but the leader was masquerading as Spider-Woman.
Oh, wow, that's something.
Yeah, but they haven't introduced Spider-Woman yet, so I don't know.
Maybe they'll do it through this series. They'll do it like that.
Yeah, but it won't have the same impact. It's better for her to have been someone established, They haven't established Spider-Woman yet, because that was the deal. Everyone thought this was Spider-Woman. She had joined the Avengers and all this stuff through the story, and slowly but surely, as it built up, you began to realize it wasn't really her. It was the Skrull posing as her,
Oh, yeah, I guess it does take some of the impact away. But, they could just use some other characters.
Yeah, some others. I don't know who at this point.
Well, they got plenty.
So but they've done teases with Nick Fury, and of course they introduced the Skrulls. But at the same time, they haven't really developed enough here for any of the characters to suddenly, you be like, oh my God, they were a Skrull all along, that kind of thing. Which is, the gimmick for the story, but that's the fun of it. and it's not established enough for this to be pulled off as well as it could have been. But, they still might, but I'm dubious because the D+ shows have been awful. They've been amazing. And the only thing that would correspond with this one is what Falcon and the Winter Soldier should have been. It should have been on par with the Winter Soldier. That was probably the best MCU film.
It was on par with that. You're just being hateful.
No, the show was very hateful, and they had their new Captain America. Oh, here it comes. You're upset because the black man is Captain America. That's what this is. No, I'm upset that they created their new Captain America and made him sympathetic with a mass murderer.
Yeah, but she had a cause. She was misguided. Just shut up.
Yeah. So anyway, there we go. That's what's supposedly happening. And I don't know, sounds about right. So could possibly be. And of course, as things go, they could have changed things by now. Who knows? But will they let it be good? I'm dubious, dubious. But anyway, there you go. Secret Invasion for D+ and the MCU.